Hello, dear children. Welcome to the class. Today, we are going to start a new chapter in business studies, directing. It's one of the important function of your management, and it's a very interesting chapter. You get to know very new things, the important concepts which are going to help us also in our daily life, and how to motivate a person, how to lead a person, fine, how to communicate, what is effective communication. So let's start with the chapter. Now the contents of this chapter are: first is meaning and definition of directing. Second, characteristics and importance of directing. Principles of directing are not there in our syllabus. Supervision and its importance and role of a supervisor. This is one of the element of directing. It's not there in our syllabus. Then meaning and definition of motivation, features of motivation and motivation process. Next is importance of motivation. Then we learn about Maslow need hierarchy theory of motivation and what are financial and non-financial incentives. Then the next part, the next component of directing is your meaning and definition of leadership, features of leadership, leadership styles, importance of leadership, and qualities of a good leader. Now, after discussing the third component, we'll be moving towards the last component of directing, that is meaning and definition of communication, elements of communication process, importance of communication, difference between formal and informal communication. Now this is very important topic, barriers to communication and improving the communication effectiveness. Now before starting this chapter, let's have a look on this picture. Now in this ladder of success, you can find that there is a person and he is having an attitude that I can't do it. Fine. The attitude is that I cannot do this work. I can't do it. Fine. Definitely, this person will not be successful. But if you start changing your attitude, that is, I want to do it. Fine. You can see that you have taken a first step towards the success. If there is a wish that yes, I want to do it, definitely you will succeed one day. Now, once you have decided that yes, I want to do it, the next question arises that how do I do it? Kaise karu? And then you will try to find out the solution of this question, and then you will take again a next step towards the success. You'll say, I will try to do it. Slowly and gradually, your attitude is going to change towards from I will do it to I can do it, and definitely I will do it. Then this person will definitely achieve the success. So let us start our chapter. And before starting this chapter, let me acknowledge that this content of this chapter is purely for educational purpose, and acknowledgements to the content to the NCERT. The content is being taken from NCERT. The purpose of this video is purely educational. Now let's start with the meaning of directing. Directing means giving instructions and guiding people in doing work. Directing means giving instructions and guiding people in doing work. Therefore, it refers to a process of instructing, guiding, counseling, motivating, and leading people in the organization to achieve its objective. Fine. So basically, directing refers to a process of instructing, guiding, counseling, motivating, and leading people in the organization to achieve the objectives. Now, here are few examples of directing. A hotel owner directing his employees to complete a certain activities for organizing a function. A teacher directing his students to complete an assignment. A film director directing the artist about how they should act in a film. So these are all various examples of directing. So the characteristics of directing are, see, it is one of the key managerial function performed by every manager. It is a managerial process which takes place throughout the life of an organization. This function, it is an important process. It is going to take place throughout the life of an organization. जब तक organization में काम होगा, definitely ये function is going to be performed by every manager in the organization. So directing initiates action. A manager has to perform this function along with planning, organizing, staffing, and controlling while discharging his duties in the organization. Fine. Organization में जब काम हो रहा होता है, तो manager has to perform this function along with planning, organizing, staffing, and controlling. While other functions prepare a setting for action, directing initiates the action in the organization. देखो but plan जब हम करते हैं, we plan about the end result and we plan about the course of action, how to achieve that result. In organizing, we set up the organizational structure, the reporting relationships, various departments, where the work, how the work is, and where the work is going to be performed. In staffing, we recruit the manpower to do the work, and your actual work starts with the directing function. Second feature of directing is directing takes place at every level of management. The directing takes place wherever superior and subordinate relations exist. Fine. The superior is always going to give direction to the subordinate regarding how to perform a task. It's a continuous process. Infosys, Tata, BHEL, HLL, Hindustan Lever Limited, the managers may change, but the directing process continues because without direction, the organizational activities cannot continue further. Directing always flow from top to bottom. Fine. You will never see that a subordinate is giving instruction to the superior. कभी ऐसा हुआ है कि सबॉर्डिनेट जो है वो डायरेक्ट कर रहा है सुपीरियर को कि काम कैसे करना है और क्या करना है? हमेशा मैनेजर गिव डायरेक्शन टू द इमीडिएट सबॉर्डिनेट and they take instructions from their immediate bosses. Next come the importance of directing. Every action in the organization is initiated through directing only. Directing integrates people towards achievement of common objectives. Now let us discuss the various points of directing. First, as we have discussed this point when we were discussing the features of directing, the first point of importance of directing is helps to initiate action. If a supervisor guides his subordinates and clarifies their doubts in performing a task, it will help the worker to achieve work targets given to him. So that is why it is being said that directing initiates the action. Second, it integrates employees' effort. A manager with good leadership abilities will be in a position to convince the employees working under him that individual efforts and team effort will lead to achievement of organizational goals. See, a manager who is having good leadership traits, they will be able to convince the employees that the individual effort is going to contribute towards the achievement of organizational goals, and thus it integrates the employee efforts. The third point of importance of directing function is it guides the employees to fully realize their potential. बेटा कोई भी मैनेजर मोटिवेट करके, लीड करके, जितनी भी मैन पावर है हमारी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में, फाइन, they can get the work done with the help of the manpower by fully utilizing their potential. If a manager wants to introduce new system of accounting, there may be initial resistance from accounting staff, but if manager explains the purpose, provides training, and motivates with additional reward, the employee may accept change and cooperate with manager. बेटा यही हुआ था जब कंप्यूटराइजेशन हो रही थी सब ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस में. Initially, there was lot of resentment from people, especially in the banking industry, and at that time so many people they took voluntary retirement also कि अब हमारी जरूरत नहीं है. लेकिन if the manager is good enough, they are having good leadership trait, they are able to guide the manpower कि computerization is necessary, it's the need of an hour, and you all must learn and equip yourself with the latest technology that will be helpful for everyone, so that you should also be there, remain in the industry, update yourself. If the manager is able to convince the workforce, fine, convince the workforce, provide them training, motivate them, then the employee will definitely accept the change without any resentment. बिना उसको resist करे employees quickly उस change को adapt कर लेंगे. Therefore, effective directing through motivation, communication, and leadership help to reduce such resistance and develop required cooperation in introducing changes. And the last point of importance is directing helps to bring stability and balance. It fosters cooperation and commitment among the people and help to achieve balance among various groups, activities, and departments of the organization. So if we recapitulate, the points of importance of directing are: helps to bring stability and balance, guides employee to fully utilize their potential, integrates employee effort and helps to initiate action. Lastly, it integrates the people towards achievement of common goals. I hope that all the points of importance of directing is clear to everyone. Now let's move to the next topic, that is elements of directing. There are 4 elements of directing. First is supervision. But supervision is not there in our syllabus. Second is motivation. Third is leadership. And fourth is communication. Let's discuss the meaning of motivation, leadership and communication. देखिए बेटा motivation का मतलब क्या होता है? In order to motivate means to influence the subordinate to identify their unfulfilled need, fine, and direct the behavior of the subordinate towards the achievement of particular objective by fulfilling their unfulfilled need. और इसके अंदर हम एक मैस्लो नीड हायरार्की थ्योरी भी पढ़ेंगे कि किस तरीके से किसी भी एम्प्लॉय की, किसी भी इंडिविजुअल की अनफुलफिल्ड नीड किस तरीके से एक एम्प्लॉय को मोटिवेट करती है, and how this unfulfilled need can be act as a motivator and used by the manager to motivate the workforce. Then how motivation is different from leadership. Basically, leadership, it's a trait of an individual. Fine. By this trait, he is being able to influence the behavior of the others in such a manner that the individuals, they come up on their own voluntarily to do a particular job. मोटिवेशन में हम एक अनफुलफिल्ड नीड को आइडेंटिफाई करते हैं, मैनेजर वो अनफुलफिल्ड नीड को एज अ सोर्स ऑफ मोटिवेशन लेके एम्प्लॉय को मोटिवेट करता है कि अगर डिजायर्ड लेवल तक परफॉर्मेंस आई तो आपकी वो अनफुलफिल्ड नीड भी फुलफिल हो जाएगी. लेकिन लीडरशिप में the leader or the manager tries to build up a informal kind of a relationship with the subordinate. और लीडर के पास अपनी कुछ ऐसे ट्रेट होते हैं कि वो सबॉर्डिनेट को इन्फ्लुएंस कर देता है. किस चीज के लिए इन्फ्लुएंस कर देता है कि सबॉर्डिनेट अपने आप ही वॉलंटरीली आता है टू डू अ पर्टिकुलर टास्क. फाइन. whatever is being asked by the leader, the follower volunteer themselves to do that particular job. And the last element of directing is communication. Communication क्या होता है? That communication is that we need to form a common understanding between the speaker and the listener. जो speaker है वो क्या कहना चाह रहा है, fine, और वो ही same listener समझे और उन्हीं instructions को follow करे. Fine, because once you are going to understand the message in totality and the instructions are followed in that direction, definitely the success would be achieved. So communication, basically, it is one of the element of directing. An ultimate objective of communication is to form a common understanding between the sender and the receiver. So in our next series of videos, we'll be discussing the following elements of directing: motivation, leadership, and communication. I hope that whatever we have discussed today is being clear to everyone. Hope all of you have enjoyed the learning today. That's all for today from my side. Thank you very much.